In this video, we are going to take a look at what I have to imagine is the upper limit to failure you can reach in a key and still be successful in the Season 2 of The War Within. More documentation about just how absurdly easy the low keys actually are despite all the claims to the contrary. Let's get right to it. Mythic +2, Motherload. Alright, I love this dungeon. One of my favorite dungeons, one of my favorite layouts, but we knew it was going to cause some chaos. There's a lot more stuff going on this season than there was in this dungeon in BFA, and not surprised to see this one go really poorly. We've featured some videos like this over the years. I remember famously we featured like a higher key, like a 20 something in Necrotic Wake back in the day in Shadowlands, and I think we had like 20 deaths or something like that, and we still upgraded that key. Obviously you guys know my thoughts on the death affix totally ruins the game in that way. Now you pretty much even having one death is a huge problem, and it really changes the way people have to play. Could be for the better. Some probably argue that it is, but I like this. I like this chaos. I think this is more fun, and it's more rewarding when you have the chaos unfold and then you still overcome it, and you just can't do that outside of low keys right now. We're going to take a look at every single death, take a look at this whole key pretty much because it is jam-packed of it. We have an interesting composition as well. Prot Warrior, top damage right now. Yeah, this is before the nerfs. But yeah, Windwalker. We have Holy Pally. That's the person who submitted this. I'd like to see more Holy Pally, man. I haven't seen a ton of it, but I think there's still a very capable Mythic Plus healer. And certainly in like low keys, they're going to be good, but we have our first, I actually haven't seen this yet this season, so I'm really glad we got to see this today. Everybody's going on about the Peacekeepers. Oh my God, I'm allergic to peace. And then we get one just kind of walk right into a suit, so we're going to fight it on the first pull. No Bloodlust used there, by the way. That's not surprising, but it's just something else to keep in mind. So the person who sends me this says, you know, the theme of the run is the swirls. So we're going to have our first death here to just that. Actually kind of funny because like they had been fighting this for a good amount of time right now, and this person just kind of standing still, like not really reacting. Like kind of backpedaling. I don't even know what that action was that they just took. They kind of like spun their character around maybe to see if they needed to move out of the mechanic, and the answer was yes, they did need to move out. Moving on to fight the patrolling Peacekeeper with this pack here on the left of this house. I guess this is showing you why a lot of people are trying to skip this, because we're going to have yet another death to that exact same thing. This time we can't really see it. We do get a funny visual though instead. The mage is just going to be stood in the poison. You can actually tell by the frames. And then the Demon Hunter, I'm not even really sure how he dies. We get knocked over this structure, which is just so funny to me. So we land on the other side of this wall, and then by the time we kind of like get back in line of sight, the Demon Hunter is just dead from just basic damage, I guess. You know there's going to be deaths in this side. We get through the first boss, no issues at all. Still haven't bloodlusted, by the way. You see the top right there? It says Bloodlust ready. So we're 8 and almost 9 minutes into the dungeon. We haven't used the spell yet, no problem. Here's some circles to dodge. All right, Monk is getting hit immediately, and so is the Demon Hunter. So we got 2 deaths there. This is obviously going to be the hardest trash in the game for honestly probably a lot of people, but for low-key players, I think this is a common thing where, you know, kind of the less skilled, I don't even really want to call it skill, but like the lower progression you are, it's usually indicative of not being able to move your character well or kind of anticipate the movement that your character needs. We see that a lot, and that Demon Hunter there again with another death. That time it kind of looked like he lagged a little bit. Yeah, you see that? Watch him. I'm going to pause it. He's like in the middle of this, and then he kind of just like pauses and then doesn't get out of it and then dashes. So I think he might be lagging a little bit on top of that, but we have the famous, oh, this is so frustrating. Always pulled us back because this is going to keep happening, right? So we're dodging the mechanics, and then we accidentally backpedal as the healer into another extractor pulled. In that chaos, the mage is going to die, and now we have to bubble to save ourselves. They do a good amount of tank damage, and that is actually going to be our next death, which I'm really shocked by because up until now, this warrior has been killing it. He even has shield wall available, but yeah, he's still going to go down. So tank down. Now that means the healer's down. That means the Demon Hunter's dead again, and we're going to have a full wipe to accidentally aggroing a second mob. So try it again. This time, yeah, no reason to go crazy, right? Oh, just kidding. We're going to go crazy. For some reason, we are going to pull both extractors. I really don't understand this. Like, we just wiped to 2 extractors, and the wipe was because the tank died. So the tank is actually going to pull that one extractor and then chain it into the second one. At this point, we've kind of just line of sighted our healer. Like, it's hard to get up there because of all these mechanics, and the tank going to pop shield wall after he's pretty much already in critical position, and he's dead. So now we're going to have the same situation occur again. Mage down, Paladin down, Demon Hunter, he's barely going to get by. Did that dude just use meta to get away from the enemies, by the way? Here he comes. He's coming into our screen right now, and he's going to use meta to leave. He just runs away with meta. All right. Tank's back. That should be a good thing, but it's not, because now that means we're just extending the pull up to 15 15 deaths. Demon Hunter does go down after using meta to not survive. Monk has died in the chaos. Tank barely scraping by, just barely keeping this. Oh my god, look how low this guy is on a 2, man. He barely surviving. Again, still fighting 2. So we have double the swirls to dodge. This is almost impossible. Like, I don't care how good you are at this game. It's going to be very hard to dodge 2 of these. So Windwalker down again. Paladin down again. Mage is looking like he's knocking on the door. Tank still struggling to survive the bleed from 2 of those little robot things. And here's more circles, more and more coming out. But we are actually going to barely get by that time. Insane. I mean, it's just a scramble, a pure scramble. And we are finally done. Only 1 extractor left. Ballooned all the way up to 18 deaths. This boss, I expect, gives a lot of problems to people on lower keys, especially, I mean, like, look at that. Just standing directly in a frontal there. These 2 deaths are rough to watch. All right, here comes the frontal. We actually did the fight pretty well. We have a mage with a pretty good movement speed ability to get out of this, right? With the blink spell. Just not going to use it. Just going to kind of slowly walk out. As we do, the Demon Hunter makes an incredibly strange decision. Focus on the Demon Hunter here. He's behind the boss right now. I guess was kind of moving out of the frontal there, and he's going to just walk into the ground mechanics that have been left behind from the previous mechanics, and he's actually just going to stand in them until he dies. I mean, that's a 2 in a nutshell, right? Like that 1 death should encapsulate everything that's going on at this key level. That's pretty insane. This fight is lingering, is hanging on for dear life. Again, this mage is going to get hit by this frontal. He barely clipped by it that time, but he does get hit down to really low health, and then I guess he's just going to die from like the residual damage from the ad or whatever. No idea how this Windwalker dies too, though. Watch his health pool. He's fine, and then all of a sudden he gets hit. I think he gets hit by the slam or something like that, and now he's got like a bleed on him. I don't even know, but he dies too. And that's a kill. The boss got a kill at 0%. We got up to 22 deaths when the boss was like sub 20%. That's pretty nuts. This has become a common spot to pull really big, and it makes a lot of sense, but there's still a lot of danger. Look at what just happened there. Fighting the Mastermind is going to put these swirls out, right? They're things you have to get away from, and we don't get away from them. We get 3 players in the group hit by that, and we actually only have a death here because they also let the polymorph go. But yeah, that mage is actually like fine if we could just heal him, but then we get polymorph. We get turned into a little glob. Again, by the way, still no, the bloodlust spell has not been used yet. 19 minutes into the dungeon. So if you're gonna fail all of these mechanics, if you're not gonna kick, if people are gonna get hit by the swirls or whatever, then like, yeah, this is actually probably some of the hardest trash in the dungeon, and you're gonna see it again here. Demon Hunter just kind of dancing around these. Watch them come out all in a little triangle here. Demon Hunter's just really legitimately dancing around in them, and I think he gets hit by at least 2, and that's gonna take another death there. 24 now. Same thing here for the person who submits it, right? All stacked up and just standing in 2 of them right there. It's actually kind of hard to see that one under the Consecrate, but yeah, just clip by both of them, I think, and that's another death. 25 deaths now. The pack is owning us, and on the way back, we're going to have yet another death. The Monk going to go down again. So 26 deaths, a pack that I think everybody thought was going to be a very easy, big AoE pull to make, and we are making a total calamity out of it. Actually have another death. 27 deaths now. You probably thought it was over. It's not over. Still plenty of time for this Demon Hunter to add to the death count. He's going to do the exact same thing again, just gonna stand in those things over and over again. I think the guy's either got something wrong with his computer, doesn't see them, I don't know what to say, but like, I guess the big question is like, when do you start realizing that it's something that needs to be fixed? It's actually funny because we're gonna have the same thing again with the mage. Yeah, see off in the corner of the screen here, it just, again, one being thrown at him and doesn't even seem to move from it, just instantly dead. And then while that happens, I guess the Demon Hunter just like runs through trash. I have absolutely no idea what's going on. He's taking some damage. He has a debuff on him, and then all of a sudden these rats come out of nowhere with an alchemist. Not done with the masterminds though. Watch the mage this time. We just kind of standing still, throwing out spells. That's kind of what his job is. Also, you're supposed to move from that. I mean, I actually am really dumbfounded by this. He's in the dead center of a mechanic. Look at this. Literally just standing in the middle of a mechanic that's about to go out and doesn't even think about moving. Not even a single piece of movement. You would have thought that the bosses would have caused more issues in this run. But honestly, yeah, outside of this, I mean, what is that guy even doing right now? Watch this again. This is crazy. These slow keys are insane, dude. The monk gets the mechanic and he just starts running around in the, look at that. That dude is like 12 yards into the mechanic at that point. You would think that the bosses would have caused more issues though. I really am shocked that they didn't. Like, the actual easiest part of this dungeon was the bosses. The bombs too, you would think like, all right, these things are probably just running into people, right? No, people are actually stopping them. They're stunning them. They're kiting them. They're slowing them. I guess it helps we got Frost Mage, and they probably die really, really quick. Like, that one is like really close to that monk, but it just gets killed. We got the final boss ahead of us. Look at the timer, by the way. Look at the timer. There's 31 deaths. Probably about 20 of them are just 2 people standing in mechanics for the entire dungeon. Easily enough time. 28 minutes, 33 minutes total needed for the dungeon. Here we go. Final boss coming up. I guess we're just waiting for, I don't know what we're waiting for, but no rush. We got plenty of time. There's no reason to rush. I forgot to mention it, but we got to give credit where credit's due. Watch the pull of this boss. Oh, look at that purple circle. What is that thing? That's this Bloodlust spell being used. They actually used it. 22, almost 23 minutes into the dungeon, we get our first Bloodlust. It's important because they don't have it up for the last boss now, right? So we, okay, 5 minutes for this boss on a 2. That should be absurdly good, right? There's no way that's not going to be good. Just kind of tanking him in the dead center. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about this, about whether or not, like, the safe spot's still a viable way. Should you just try to move it? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's a couple options that you can consider here. I don't think this is one of the options. I don't think you want to just stand in the dead center. Not what you want to see, like, on the screen right now. You're just covered in fire. Watch the actual chaos that this is, because it's literally just like you're covered in fire here. Like, you can't stand in the middle, right? Here it comes. It's every angle is surrounded. The boss is no longer attackable, and we have a mage get hit by the swirl. Somehow we still have battle reses. I don't know if it's bugs. Maybe there's a problem with the video game. I have no idea how with 32 deaths we still have battle reses available. I guess they've luckily not been used on trash, because they would have been totally wasted. This one, the guy just dies. Like, you were kind of not healing him. I'm not really sure why. He's clearly like not recovering from that health pool, and he just kind of keeps getting shot, I guess. But yeah, he's just actually gonna die to just like not standing in a mechanic this time. For our 33rd death, now with only 3 minutes left on the timer. Kinda struggling to get these ads killed. These things are living long. We're actually done with the phase already, and they're not even close to being dead. So we now have this final phase starting. We still have battle reses available, so we're gonna use another one on the mage. That guy's died twice on the fight now. Still have the ads alive, getting, oh my god, we're just in such chaos. Look at this. Now we're just hanging the boss where it starts, basically in the phase. And so we have ads alive, we have the frontal, and we have the fire just kind of peppering these people. Mage is definitely not living that. That person's dead. Demon Hunter also gonna go down, just here dashing around trying to kill this enemy. I guess kind of cleaving them down, and just unaware that swirls exist in World of Warcraft in 2025. So just doesn't even try to move out of it. And that's another death for the Demon Hunter. Ads still alive. By the way, Paladin literally just runs through the frontal at this level. No issues. That's kind of nuts, actually. Now we're out of battle reses. Now the timer's ticking. 2.5 minutes left. Ads are finally going to go down. Only got 1 damage dealer, technically. We have the warrior, who's actually going to beat damage dealers overall in this key. No surprise. But we're kind of getting lucky with the fire, so we're just going to walk to our finish here. 35 deaths and over a minute remaining on the timer. Absolutely insane. And you can see the overall chart down there on the bottom left. I guess I'm surprised the mage is top, to be honest. That's maybe the most surprising thing about this. Can you top it? Can you guys send me a run with more than 35 United States deaths in a Mythic Plus dungeon, and they actually upgraded? I challenge you to find that key for me now. Again, more evidence. I mean, just, I don't know how much you need to see at this point. 2s are an absolute chaotic mess. They're legitimately hard. I mean, the fact that they had 35 deaths and still upgraded it tells you how easy they actually are, but the fact that you had 35 deaths in a 2, like, absolutely insane. Let me know what you guys think. Stay tuned for more. Keep submitting them if you guys are out there, especially in 2s, man. 2s are just the gift that keeps on giving, and I'm going to review every 2 I get this season. I can already tell. Thank you for watching. We will see you guys in the next one.